The rambutan is a truly wonderful fruit, isn't it? With its hairy, almost otherworldly skin and sweet, juicy flesh, it's a taste of the exotic that many of us dream of growing. Now you might think growing one from a seed is the way to go. It is a lovely thought to see something grow from the very beginning. However, with rambutan, a seed-grown tree can be a bit of a gamble. You might wait years and years, only to find the fruit isn't quite as sweet or as plentiful as you had hoped. This is where the magic of gardening, and specifically patch budding, comes into play. It is a reliable way to get the exact fruit you want. Patch budding is a rather clever horticultural technique. It sounds complicated, but it is really quite simple when you break it down. Think of it as giving a young, strong tree a little helping hand from a more established, proven one. We take a small piece of a mature tree, one that we know produces delicious fruit, and we graft it onto a young seedling. This ensures that the new branches growing from that patch will have the exact same qualities as the parent tree. It is a fantastic way to guarantee a harvest of top-quality rambutan, and it speeds up the whole process considerably. Why is this method so useful, you ask? Well, it is all about consistency and quality. When you plant a seed, you are rolling the dice on genetics. The resulting tree might be a wonderful surprise, or it could be a disappointment. With patch budding, you remove all that uncertainty. You are essentially cloning the best characteristics of your favorite tree. This is incredibly important for anyone who wants a reliable crop. It means you can choose a variety known for its sweetness, its size, or its resistance to disease, and be confident that your new tree will share those exact traits. So let's get our hands dirty, shall we? This process is not just for the experts in white lab coats. It is for you and me, the home gardener with a passion for growing things. It connects us to a long tradition of plant propagation, a skill passed down through generations. There is a deep satisfaction in successfully budding a plant. It feels like you have unlocked one of gardening's little secrets. By following a few simple steps, you can turn a humble seedling into a future provider of the most delicious rambutan, right in your own garden space. Before we make our first cut, it is essential to get all our equipment ready. A good gardener is always prepared. Having everything you need within arm's reach makes the entire process smoother and much more enjoyable. First and foremost, you will need a budding knife. This is not just any old knife. It should be incredibly sharp and clean. A dull blade can crush the delicate plant tissues, which will prevent the bud from healing and growing properly. I often use a special grafting knife with a flat blade on one side and a curved one on the other, which is perfect for this sort of delicate work. Next, you will need some budding tape or clear polythene strips. This is what you will use to wrap the bud patch securely in place. The tape acts like a bandage, protecting the wound from rain and pests, while holding the patch firmly against the rootstock. It needs to be flexible enough to expand as the plant grows. You will also want some rubbing alcohol or a sterilizing solution. Cleanliness is absolutely paramount here. We must wipe our knife blade clean before every single cut to prevent any nasty diseases from getting into the plant system. Of course, we need our plant material. You will need a healthy young rambutan seedling, which we call the rootstock. This should be about the thickness of a pencil and have smooth, healthy bark. It is the foundation for our new tree. Then, you need your budwood. This is a young, healthy branch taken from a mature, high-quality rambutan tree, the one whose fruit you love. The budwood should be fresh and have plump, well-formed buds on it. It is best to collect this on the very same day you plan to do your budding. Finally, have a clean, damp cloth handy. This is for wrapping your budwood in after you have cut it from the parent tree. This simple step keeps it from drying out while you prepare your seedling. Dehydration is the enemy of a successful graft. A little bit of preparation goes a very long way in the garden. Getting your tools and materials in order is the first and perhaps most crucial step towards mastering this wonderful technique. It sets you up for success and turns the task from a chore into a thoughtful, meditative practice. Now, with our tools at the ready, we can begin the gentle surgery. First, we must select the right spot on our young seedling, the rootstock. Look for a smooth section of the stem, about 15 to 20 centimeters up from the soil. This area should be free of any side shoots or blemishes. Take your sterilized budding knife and make 2 parallel horizontal cuts into the bark, about 2 centimeters apart. Then, make 2 parallel vertical cuts on either side, connecting the ends of the horizontal cuts to form a perfect rectangle. Be careful to cut only through the bark, not deep into the wood itself. With the outline of our window cut, we now turn our attention to the budwood, our piece from the proven tree. We are going to perform the exact same action here. Find a nice, plump, healthy bud. Using your sharp knife, make the same rectangular cuts around the bud, ensuring the bud sits right in the middle of your patch. The patch you cut from the budwood should be the exact same size as the rectangle you cut on the rootstock. This is why a steady hand and a good eye are your best friends during this process. Precision is key to a snug fit. Now for the most delicate part of the operation. Go back to your seedling rootstock. Gently pry open the rectangular flap of bark you cut earlier. You can often use the little spur on the back of a budding knife for this. Peel it downwards, leaving it attached at the bottom. This creates a little hinged window. Next, carefully lift the bud patch from your budwood stick. Try not to touch the cut surface with your fingers, as the oils from your skin can interfere with the healing process. Handle it by the edges of the bark only. The final step is to place the new bud patch into the window you have created on the rootstock. It should fit perfectly, like a piece in a jigsaw puzzle. The cut surfaces of the patch and the rootstock need to be in full contact with each other. This is where the magic happens, as the 2 plants will grow together. Once it is in place, take the original flap of bark and pull it back up over the new patch. It acts as an extra layer of protection. The new bud will simply push its way through as it begins to grow in the coming weeks. Once the new bud is snugly in place, our work is not quite finished. We must now bind the wound to help it heal and protect it from the elements. Take your budding tape or polythene strip and begin wrapping it firmly around the stem. Start below the bud patch and work your way up, overlapping the tape with each turn to make sure it is completely sealed. You want the wrapping to be tight enough to hold everything in place and keep moisture out, but not so tight that it strangles the stem. Be sure to leave the little bud itself exposed so it can breathe and grow. For the next few weeks, the plant needs a bit of quiet time to recover. It is best to keep the newly budded seedling in a shaded, protected area, away from strong winds and direct scorching sun. The key is to avoid any stress on the plant. Keep the soil consistently moist, but not waterlogged. A waterlogged soil can lead to root rot, which is the last thing our recovering plant needs. Just check on it every few days. Look for signs of healing. Patience is a gardener's greatest virtue, and this is a time for quiet observation. After about 3 to 4 weeks, you should be able to see if the budding has been successful. The patch will still look green and healthy, and you might even see the tiny bud beginning to swell. This is a very exciting moment. If the patch has turned brown or black, sadly, it means the graft has failed, and you will have to try again. If it is successful, you can carefully remove the wrapping tape to allow the new shoot to grow freely. A sharp knife can be used to gently slit the tape, being careful not to nick the bark underneath. Once the new bud has sprouted and grown a few centimeters, we need to encourage it to become the main leader of the plant. To do this, we must prune the top of the original seedling, cutting it off about 10 centimeters above the new bud union. This action redirects all the plant's energy and resources into growing your new, high-quality shoot. Over time, this shoot will grow into a strong new trunk, carrying the superior genetics of your chosen parent tree. With a little care and attention, you have successfully guided nature to create the perfect rambutan tree.